welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Dr. Stephanie, your life coach and physician. And this is the third video in a three-part series of being my sister's keeper. I did this video series because I gave a keynote address to a group of women who are committed to being each other's keepers and the keepers of their families. And this presentation turned out to be amazing. And it was amazing not just because of what I was able to teach, but what I was able to learn, what I got from them, and the exchange that we were able to have. And it was just so good that I thought that I should share, because we all can use a reminder about being our sister's keeper. A lot of women don't want to be their sister's keeper. They feel like friendships with women can be petty and catty, and they just don't want to do it. But I would suggest to you that it's the most beautiful thing that you can do, and it's worth doing. So the first 2 points of being our sister's keeper was, one, first we have to be our own keeper, and we have to be a wonderful keeper of ourselves. Second, we have to be our sister's keeper even when that's not easy. And then third, we have to learn how to be kept. We have to allow ourselves to be kept. And I think that this really is the hardest one. This is the hardest one. We don't like to be kept, y'all. We like to have it all together. We like to be able to do it for ourselves, do it ourselves, and do it for somebody else. But when it comes to letting somebody else do it for us, that's difficult. Most of us don't like to ask for help. And most of us feel like we can do it better anyway. So why am I going to ask for help when I can do it better? So we have some work in this area. But some of the key points of learning to be kept is being vulnerable. You have to let your guard down and be vulnerable and allow yourself to be seen. In order to be kept, you have to be seen. So we have to allow ourselves that invisible shield or screen that we have built around ourselves. We have to bring that down so that we can be seen for who we are authentically and vulnerably. Because we're not perfect, and at some point all of us is going to need some help. So of course that is easier said than done, but there are reasons why it's difficult. Why is it difficult? A lot of times it's difficult because we've been hurt, right? We've been hurt. Being vulnerable has caused us to be hurt. We don't want to be hurt again, and so we build a shield and we put up a wall to protect ourselves. But eventually what happens is, yeah, that wall might protect you from being hurt, but it also keeps you away from the love, the intimacy, the laughter, the understanding, the good crying sessions, all of the things that sometimes you can only get from your sisters, the support, the being able to have your needs fulfilled. You cannot get to any of that unless you allow yourself to be vulnerable. And yes, you may get hurt again. It's just the reality of things. We are all human beings and we all make mistakes. But I say to you, do it anyway. Do it anyway. You have been through some hard things and you can get through some hard things. And I would highly encourage you to do that work. Be courageous enough to do the work of forgiveness, because carrying around the burden of unforgiveness is one of the heaviest burdens you'll ever carry. And I am speaking from experience. So it's worth it. Even if you get hurt, you can heal. And there will be sisters all around you who are willing to help you heal. And you can always reach out for help. You can reach out to a friend, a therapist, a coach. We are here to help you get through it, whatever it is. And so there's some principles about going into this being willing to be kept thing. So you have to put down your cape. Sometimes we wear this cape, this Wonder Woman cape. Have a wash day for your cape, right? Okay. Thursdays is my wash day. Take the cape off, put it in the wash machine. It cannot be worn, okay? No Superwoman for you on Thursdays. You might want to take Fridays and Saturdays off too. I don't know. You can choose how many days you take off, but definitely take off the cape and have a wash day for the cape. If you've not read the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, I live by those 4 agreements. And one of them is to be impeccable with your word. When you are impeccable with your word, that helps you to walk in integrity. And I believe that when we walk in integrity, that we attract other sisters who walk in integrity. That's what we attract back to our lives. And the one thing that I would say, especially if you've been hurt by a sister, but you want to be open to this concept of being kept, always assume the best. Many of us are easy and quick to assume the worst. Well, I don't know. It might not. Just assume the best. Because if it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, like I said, you're strong enough to get over this. You have support to get over it. But if you assume the worst, you've brought negative energy into the situation no matter what happens. So that was an amazing reminder to me. And I'll just tell you a little bit, a story about allowing yourself to be kept. I had to, on the same day I was giving this presentation, I had to practice this myself. I was putting on a presentation with some other women, and we have been working together for months and doing this, and we worked really well together. But on the final day, when everything was coming together, I dropped the ball. I had an assignment. I misunderstood the assignment and did it completely wrong. And so my sister came to me and said, that's not the way it was supposed to be done. It was supposed to be done this way. And I felt some kind of way at first. I was like, well, I actually think the way I did it was a better way to do it. And I thought that's how you wanted it done. But then I took a breath, took a step back, and I looked at it from her perspective. And I was able to humble myself and say, she's right. That is not the way that it was supposed to be done. That's not the way that anybody else interpreted it. So my bad. And so I said to her, my bad, my apologies. She asked me to redo it. I had to go back and say, I don't have time to redo it. I cannot do it. And she said, I'll do it. So she took it and she did it. And then I also was vulnerable enough to reach out to her and say, okay, I know I didn't do this thing the way I was supposed to, but I worked really, really hard on it. Is there any way that you can still incorporate it? And she was able to redo what she wanted to do the way that it was supposed to be done and still incorporate my work into the process. And let me tell you, that was a win-win. Something that could have really gone left, could have gone sideways. I could have been in my feelings. She could have been in her feelings. She really was my keeper, and I appreciate her for that. And I allowed myself to be kept, and I appreciate me for that. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say about being my sister's keeper. Be your own keeper first, be your sister's keeper, and then allow yourself to be kept. Thank you. Share this with a sister. Like, subscribe below. Bye-bye for now.